Hello learners, my name is Shakti Bajpayee. I am working as an assistant professor in Government PG College Ambala and I'll be teaching you computer system architecture in this session. So we will start with the unit 2 first because unit 2 is containing the basic building block of the subjects and you should be aware about those terminologies before starting with unit 1 and the rest of the unit. So in the unit 2, the very first topic which we people are having is what is register transfer language. So we are going to start with the same, that what is register transfer language. So if we are going to discuss about the basic definition of RTL, that is register transfer language, it is made up of three terms: registers, transfer, and language. So first of all, I would like to discuss that what is register. Basically, register is a memory, and the registers are made up of flip flops. You have already heard about the term flip flop. That flip flop is one bit of memory, and it is capable of storing one bit of data only. You have learned about D flip flop, SR flip flop, JK flip flop, T flip flop, but the only restriction with the flip flop is that it is able to store one bit of data. Sometimes one bit of storage is sufficient for us to answer the basic questions like, are you a student of BCA? The answer is either yes or no. So in this case, you can store it in the form of one bit of data, but sometimes we have more than one questions to answer, or you can say the information cannot be answered in one bit. For example, I have the question that, are you a student of BCA, and answer me one more question that, have you scored more than 60% marks. So these two questions can be represented using two bits: 00, 01, 10, 11. Here 0 represents false and 1 represents true. So if we are going to store the information in the form of 00, it means you are neither the student of BCA nor you have scored first division. 01 means you are not the student of BCA, but you scored first division in some other stream. 10 means you are a student of BCA but you didn't scored first division, and 11 exactly means that you are a student of BCA plus you scored first division. So this kind of two bit of information that is not stored in single flip flop. So you combine the flip flop and form register. So 2-bit register can store such kind of information. If we are combining 4 flip flops, we'll be having the 4-bit registers. If we are combining 8 flip flops, will be having the 8-bit of registers. So the registers which you have studied in the previous semesters include CISO, serial in, serial out, CPO, serial in, parallel in, serial out, and parallel in, parallel out. So the next term is register transfer. By the term register transfer, we exactly means that there is a movement of data from one memory part to the other memory part, and that memory must be the register. So it already implies the availability of hardware, that hardware is already available between the registers, or you can say wires are available. Instead of calling them hardware cables, we call them buses in the computer terminology. That buses are available, and using the buses will be able to transfer the data from one register to other, and that kind of movement of data which is stored inside the register from one part of register to the other part of register, or you can say from one register to the other register, is known as register transfer. For example, I want to copy the data of register A to register B, so that will be termed as register transfer. There is another term that we call language. By the term language, we means that some sort of rules. What is a language? Language implies some sort of rules to be followed, some sort of syntax should be there, rule should be there. So if we are going to transfer the data from one register to other, in this case I am writing that if a variable p is equal to 1, then we have to copy the data of r1 to r2. So in register transfer language, we are going to learn about the symbolic representation, how we are going to copy the data from one register to other. So in RTL, we will write p colon r2 arrow r1. So here we are copying the data of r1 to r2, and colon means there is a condition which we place before the colon, that is p. So if p will be 1, only then, if p will be available, only then r1's data will be copied to r2. Here p is known as control signal, and r1 to r2, that is a movement of data, that is known as register transfer. So we have some kind of symbolic representation to represent the transfer of the data from one register to other. So register transfer language is nothing, basically the concept in which we use the symbolic representation for the movement of data or information from one register to other. Thank you.